All right, here we go. So we want to talk about tonight creating momentum in your business and what you can do, because this is the time of year going into the third and fourth quarter that you really have to think through your business and you have to be strategic about it. Because as we go into the third and the fourth quarter, you know, people are starting to people are starting to really think through, like, paying for Christmas, and you know, kids are going back to school, so it is natural during this time of year to kind of see the sales and your volume and all of that drop a little. So we want to talk about a game plan of how you can actually create momentum within your business, and how to build on that through the third and fourth quarter. When I first joined, my enroller told me, if you knew what was coming in January and February, then you're just going to be blown away. And it's so true. Like that first quarter time period is just amazing for our businesses. But we want to create momentum now. We want to be building that momentum and growing our paychecks and promoting now. So that way, when we do hit that busy season come February, March, April, we've already got that steam rolling behind us. And I constantly am watching Denise Walsh, which, if you don't know who she is a Black Diamond in our company. She's like the number 2 or 3 income earner. She's really amazing with stuff like this. So I highly recommend following Denise Walsh, and a lot of the information that I'm going to share with you came straight from her, because she's so good. Like with all of this, like building momentum, visualization, committing 100% to your business. And so I really enjoy following her. So a lot of this information has come from her. So follow Denise Walsh. So let's just get into it. What is momentum? Momentum is creating massive action by taking, I'm sorry, I just read that all wrong. Momentum is created by taking massive action in one direction for a long period of time. Let me say that again so you can write it down, so you can kind of get this in your mind. Momentum is created by taking massive action in one direction for a long period of time. And a lot of times we get this idea that success is going to be instantaneous for us, or that success is going to happen overnight for us, because maybe we saw so-and-so do it or whatever. But what we forget is that this is a marathon and not a sprint. You're in this for the long haul. You're in this to change your life. So if you're going to build lasting momentum, you have to take massive action in one direction for a long period of time. The problem is that most people don't know what direction to take, right? If you're feeling stuck in your business, or if your business has ever plateaued, and mine has done that on multiple occasions, if you're ever feeling stuck, if your paycheck has, or maybe even your paycheck has decreased, you can always trace it back to a lack of personal vision. And that's the honest truth, guys. When you have personal vision is having such a clear picture of where you're going that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get there. So just to kind of give you an idea, when I joined, I had followed my enroller for several months. So I knew what the rank of diamond was. And I also knew that the rank of diamond would replace my full-time income. So when I joined, I was so clear on where I needed to go and what I needed to do to get there that it created a fire within me. And I was willing to do whatever it took to get there. If that meant staying up late, I was going to stay up late. If that meant getting up early, I was going to get up early. If that meant messaging more people, then I was going to message more people. Because I was so clear on my vision of where I was going that I was willing to take massive action in that direction in order to get myself there. If you've ever felt stuck in your business, it's because you're lacking your personal vision. You're lacking that why. That's really the one word that it boils down to. Why? Why did you join this business? What was the reason behind it? We all have a reason. And I think sometimes we get this idea in our minds. Let me make sure everybody's muted. We get this idea in our minds that it like has to be some like crazy reason, you know, like you have to pay for kids' medical bills and stuff like. Maybe you just wanted extra money to go get manicures every week. Maybe you wanted extra coffee money. I don't know why it was that you joined, but you need to be passionate about it. You need to have that fire within you, because if you don't constantly have that vision of why you joined, if that passion isn't fueling your fire, then you're going to fizzle out really quickly in this business, okay? So get that personal vision to where it lights your fire every single day, to where you're willing to take massive action in order to get it done. So how do you know what you want? I want you to think of your life 1 year from now, okay? So I actually did it even more short term than that. So for me, when I joined, I was quitting my job. And I had 3 months of a paycheck coming in. That was it. I knew after 3 months, my full-time job was done and I was not going to have a paycheck anymore. So for me, like, I didn't even think of it in a year, but you can think of like, where do you want to be a year from now? Or where do you want to be 6 months from now? Where do you want to be 3 months from now? For me, it was 3 months. I had to visualize it that way. What rank do you see yourself at? How much debt have you paid off? Do you want to be full-time with It Works? Have those visions, that personal vision, so clear in your mind. And then you need to ask yourself these 4 questions, okay? To create this momentum, you need to ask yourself these 4 questions. What do I want? You need to know sorry, just muting everybody. You need to know what rank you want, what pay you want, whatever it is. What do you want? Why do you want it? You have to have that constant why fueling you every day in this business. Because if you just wander aimlessly through this business, you're going to quit. Why do you want it? When do you want it? And I feel like when you create these goals for yourself, when you put time frames around them, it helps you almost like reverse achieve your goals. Okay? So if you know, like, let's say you want to be diamond by November 30th because you're going to get a $10,000 bonus if you do, okay? You know that you need to promote on November 30th. So you can almost reverse that and you can go backwards and work your way back to where we are today. A diamond has a minimum of 24 distributors, like obviously all placed correctly. 24 distributors, all filled to a volume of 400, okay? So you can almost go backwards when you do it that way. I remember when I joined and I knew I needed to go diamond, I had that diamond chart printed out and I had it posted everywhere. I had like 6 or 7 diamond charts all around my house. And I remember like constantly when I would sign somebody, I would fill in my chart, and when they got a loyal customer, I would update their volume. Because I was constantly being fueled by that personal vision, by that fire that was inside of me. And when I had that, when I was able to do that, when that was what was compelling me to go further, the 4th question that you need to ask yourself, and that I did while I was going diamond, was, am I willing to do the work that it takes to get there? So what do you want? Why do you want it? When do you want it? And are you willing to do the work that it takes to get there? This is a universal truth that if you talk to any leader in this company or any company, anybody, you become what you think about. So think about what you want to become. Being diamond for me was so real. Like I breathed it, I ate it, I drank it, I slept it. Like it was so real in my mind that nobody could convince me that I wasn't going to get it. I was literally so consumed with the thought, like I imagined myself getting my first diamond paycheck. I imagined myself paying my bills with my diamond paycheck. I imagined myself receiving my first $10,000 bonus. I imagined myself quitting my full-time job and being fully sustained by It Works. And because I was constantly feeding that into into my business and into my life. Like I was so convinced, I was so completely convinced that I was diamond, that you could have literally knocked me upside of the head and it would not have deterred me, because I was that confident that I was going to be diamond. And so I was willing to take massive action in order to get there. That meant that the month that I went diamond, my emerald and I personally wrapped 22 people. We personally put a wrap, got belly to belly with 22 people. Did it take a lot of time? It sure did. Did I miss a lot of bedtimes? Yep. But you know what? I went diamond that month because I was willing to take massive action in order to do whatever I needed to do to get there. I had solid dates next to when, like, so when I was going diamond, we only had 1 month left of what we had. We had good bonuses back then. And our CEO, Mark, announced, I was only a ruby, and he announced on July 1st that it was the last month for any bonuses. And so at that time, you had to promote within the month that we offered bonuses, or you didn't get a bonus. And so I remember calling my enroller, Christy, on July 1st, and I said, I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but I'm going to go diamond this month. She said, well, you better get to work. And so it was like I had exactly 31 days to do it. So I set definite dates for myself that I needed to be charted by the middle of the month. I had to be charted by the 15th, because I knew that if I could get my distributors in by the 15th, that the remaining half of the month I could spend filling that volume. So get a chart for yourself, whatever rank that it is that you're working for. Print a chart out for yourself and get it to where you can visualize it, where you can see it. Put it all around your house. Make it so real to you that no matter what anybody says, they could not convince you that you're not going to do it. Okay, you need to have that personal vision fueling you. I was so excited and clear on my vision that I was willing to take massive action to get there. It means I was excited to meet with potentials. I was excited to plug into team trainings. I was excited to stay up late messaging people. I was excited to host wrap parties and wrap 22 people in 1 month. Why? Because I knew where I was going. I knew what I was doing, and I knew that it would pay off if I would be willing to take massive action to build that momentum within my business. Why do I say to do this? And Denise Walsh is huge on this. Why do we say to do this? Why do we visualize where we want to go? Why do we see why do we constantly feed that positivity into our life and into our business? And this is true, and you need to write this down, because visualization accelerates achievement. Visualization accelerates achievement. So when you see yourself as a diamond, when you see yourself as a mass enroller, when you see yourself making $2,000 a month, when you can actually like sense it and feel like, oh, I'm going to pay this bill with my diamond paycheck next month. When I pay, this credit card off because of my $10,000 bonus. When you manifest those feelings, it literally creates more of a fire within you. Your visualization accelerates your achievement, because our subconscious, it literally cannot differentiate between what's real and what's imaginary. Okay, this is like a proven psychological thing. Your subconscious cannot differentiate between what is real and what is imaginary, which is why, people who have like panic attacks and things like that, it's very real to them, because their mind can't differentiate what's real and what's not. But it works the same way with positivity. Okay, so when you see yourself as diamond, when you see yourself as a mass enroller, your mind literally has to figure out a way to make that happen, because it cannot differentiate between what's real and what's not. For the life of me, like, I can guarantee you that the reason why I went diamond in 3 months is because I was so convinced that I was going to be diamond that nothing was going to stop me from getting there. I am the crazy girl who I would wake up in the middle of the night to go pee, and I would have my phone on the toilet with me, and I would be following people in the middle of the night, and that's not a joke, because I was so confident that I was going to be diamond. I would be following people, and I was like, oh, she's going to be my next customer. She's going to be my next distributor. Like, I was so confident in that. that it literally, like, it happened because I visualized it and it accelerated my achievement. So the first step in creating momentum within your business is doing this. You have to know where you're going, why you're going there, when you're going to get there, and are you willing to do the work that it takes to get there? The next thing that you need to know in order to create momentum in your business is you need to be willing to take 100% responsibility for your business. 100% responsibility for your business. When you go to transfer your money into your account, that It Works uploads, you know that your name is the only one on there? Nobody else's name is on your paycheck. Not your upline, not your downline, not your sidelines, nobody, just your name. Who else has the power to write their own paycheck? Just you. Your name is the only one on that check. So, like, saying like my upline doesn't help me or my downline never works for me. Okay, you're going to start right now to create momentum within your business. You're going to take 100% responsibility for your business. When you do that, you give up 3 things. When you take 100% responsibility for your business, you give up blaming, complaining, and excuses. Anytime somebody comes to me and they're blaming upline, downline, sidelines, loyals, whatever, you're not really ready to be successful. You're not ready to take your business to the next level because you're not taking 100% responsibility for it. There's always going to be people. There's always going to be, Melinda, I see your daughter. Hi. Is that Corbin? Yeah. Hi, Corbin. There's always going to be people who let you down. There's always going to be people who could do more for you and they don't. Take responsibility for your own business. Stop playing the blame game. The only person who is responsible for your check is you. That's it. Take complaining off the table. There's a million different things that you could be doing with your time to build your business. But if you sit around and complain about it, you're taking away valuable time that you could be building and replacing whatever problem it is that you're complaining about. None of my loyal customers continued after their 3 months. Okay, go sign some more. None of my new distributors are working. Okay, forget about them. Go find new people. None of my friends wanted to join me. Go make new friends. There's 7 billion people in this world. So instead of sitting around and complaining about your business, be the solution to the problem. Because that's when you're going to build momentum within your business, is when you stop complaining about everything that could go wrong and you start being the solution to the issues. Number 3, when you take 100% responsibility for your business, you take away the ability to make any excuses. At the end of the day, when you give excuses, I'm too busy with work, my kid has sports practices and I don't have time to work my business, I'm too shy, I'm afraid of what people will think if I'm like that crazy It Works girl constantly posting on their newsfeed. When you feed yourself excuses, what that really means is that what you say that you want, I want to go diamond, whatever, that what you say you want isn't really a priority. It's not. At the end of the day, it is not a priority. If you are willing to make excuses for it, to get out of working, then what you want is not a priority. And you need to get real with yourself and you need to sit down and think, why am I making excuses for my business? And know that that is why you're not being successful, because you're either blaming, you're complaining, or you're coming up with crap excuses as to why you cannot work your business. My favorite quote recently has been, if you don't sacrifice for what you want, then what you want becomes the sacrifice. I'm constantly amazed at people who join this business and want to be an overnight success, and then are like, you know, they work for a week and post 2 times and then want to quit because people aren't lining up at their door. Like, I'm always amazed by that. Because honestly, like, this is it's work. I'm not going to lie to you. This is work, but it's easy work. I always say we are not out digging ditches. Like, I'm sitting at home on my couch with my family, and I can watch Netflix and do this. Like, this is the easiest job you will ever have in your whole life. If you're not willing to sacrifice and stay up a little bit late or get up a little bit early or call a few people, you are not ready for success. You're not. That's just what it boils down to. And you need to reevaluate what it is that's holding you back. What excuse is it that you're holding on to that's not allowing you to move forward within your business? And inactivity breeds doubt. The longer you sit there and do nothing, or the longer you sit there and you're just spinning your wheels, blaming people, complaining about your business, or making excuses for it, the longer you sit there and do nothing with it, maybe you're brand new. You haven't even gotten started with your business yet. The longer you sit there and do nothing with it, the harder it gets for you to get past that hump. Maybe you've been in the business for a while and you feel like you've plateaued or nobody's working or whatever. The longer you sit there and do nothing, I can guarantee you it will get harder and harder and harder. You just have to decide that you're going to go all in and do it no matter what. You're going to take responsibility for it. You're going to get rid of the blaming, get rid of the complaining, and get rid of the excuses, and just do whatever needs to be freaking done to promote, to get the customers, to get the promotion, whatever it is that you're going for. You just need to be willing to do it, because inactivity breeds doubt. And one thing Denise Walsh always says that I love is that committing, this is the next thing, sorry, that you need to go all in. Commit 100%. When you are building momentum within your business, you have to commit 100%. It is much harder to commit 99% than it is to go all in and commit 100%. Why is that? Because at 99% commitment, you give yourself the slightest option to say no. Like, oh, I just don't feel like it, or I'm so tired tonight I can't post, or I just don't feel like following up with anybody because so-and-so said no. When you commit 100% to something, it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what you want to do. When you are fully committed to something, you just do it. You don't give yourself an option to say yes or no. You commit fully, 100%. Don't give yourself the option to say yes or no. It's always yes. It's always yes. She gives the illustration of a pen. If you have a pen, you set it down. I know you guys can't see it, but if you set it down, you cannot try and pick it up. Okay? You can't do that. You either pick up the pen or you don't. You leave it there. It's the same thing in this business. There is no trying. I get sick of people saying, I'm trying to work my business, but I can't. You're not trying. You're just not doing it, because there's no trying. You either commit 100% and you do it, or you don't commit 100% and you don't do it. You give yourself a way out. Like, oh, I can't get into that Show Me the Money call because The Bachelorette is on at 9 o'clock tonight, and I can't miss an episode. And you give yourself the opportunity to say no. You either do it or you don't. Let me put it into perspective. You either follow people on Instagram or you don't. You either add new friends on Facebook or you don't. You either post or you don't. You either call leads or you don't. You either wrap people or you don't. Do you get where I'm going with this? There is no trying. Like, you can't try to wrap somebody. You either do it or you don't. So if you're going to build momentum within your business, you just have to decide to commit 100% and do the job. Is it always going to be easy? Nope. I'll be the first person to admit that. Are you always going to want to do it? Heck, no. But I can guarantee you that it will pay off, and the momentum that you build by consistent, massive action in your business will pay off tremendously in the long run. So the next part, so that was like the 3 things that I wanted to talk about. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is how. Like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to build momentum? Like practical steps that you can take to get started. And I did this training video for my new distributors a couple of days ago, and I just kind of wanted to like pull some of that in. Like, what can I do right now to build momentum within my business? No matter if you're brand new in your business or if you are, I've been in the business for like a little over 2 years. Maybe you've been in the business as long as I have. No matter where you are in this business, what if, let's say you've hit a wall, or you feel like you're not growing, or maybe you feel like you're decreasing, like your paycheck's going down instead of going up. No matter where you are in your business, if you feel like you are not building momentum right now, the first thing that you need to do, like a practical action, is just start. Just start. I know that sounds so elementary and so simple, and that's how simple this business is. You just start. You just do it. If you don't know what to post, message your upline, message your downline. Maybe you've like fallen off the wagon and you feel like you can't make any headway in your business anymore. Just start. Just do it. Take the steps that we just talked about, put them into play, and start doing it. Start following people. Start messaging people. Start wrapping people. Start hosting wrap parties. Start calling leads. Print out your hundreds list. Go to eSuite, print out your hundreds list, and start your hundreds list fresh again, brand new. Contact every single person on your hundreds list. And just start. Just get going. You may think, I don't know what to do, or I've let too much time pass in my business and now I'm not going to be successful. Like, guys, we all get our wings as we're falling. Like, you will learn along the way. I'm still learning every single day in this business. I still message my upline questions like, what do I say? What do I do? We learn as we go. You cannot build momentum in your business if you sit on your butt and do nothing. Okay? If I were to ask you, every single one of you, how many of you want to make $10,000 next month if it works? Unless you're crazy, all of you would say, yeah, absolutely, of course I do. But then you'll sit back and you'll make excuses as to why you can't do it. I can't do it because my kid has soccer practice tonight, or I can't make it to that Zoom training because whatever reason. And you feed yourself with all kinds of excuses, or you blame your upline, or you blame your downline, whatever it is, and you end up not doing anything with your business because you just won't get up and start doing it. If people, like, let's say you have a team under you and they're not working, go replace them. Be willing to follow more people and talk to more people until you replace those people. Just do it. Just get started. It sounds so elementary and so oversimplified, but honestly, like, that's what it boils down to. You just have to start. You have to put one foot in front of the next every single day. You just have to get up and show up every single day in your business. Remember what we said, momentum is taking massive action in a single direction for a long period of time. Massive action is not, I'm going to post once today and wait for people to come to me. That is not taking massive action in a direction for a long period of time. That is hoping that you win the lottery. And it doesn't happen that way. Success does not happen that way. In this company, in any company, in your life, success does not happen to you. You happen to success. Okay? Success will not happen to you. It will not fall in your lap. Nobody will gift wrap it and hand it to you. Most of the time, people miss success because it's dressed in overalls and it looks like hard work. Okay? So if you want to be successful in this business, get off your butt and just start. Just do the work. Day in and day out, show up to your business, be consistent, and be willing to do whatever it takes to get there. The second thing, and like the practical steps to create momentum, get over yourself. This is a hard one. This was a really big one for me. I am by nature a very introverted person. You probably can't tell that when I'm pregnant though. I'm by nature pretty introverted. I hate being confrontational. I never want to put people out, ever. Like, That's just not who I am. So that was kind of like, that was a big thing for me, was getting over myself. Now I want you, like when we first got on the Zoom, we talked about why we started, like letting that why be the fuel. So those of you who know me, there's several on here that I don't know. Those of you who know me know that I joined because I had a kid I never saw and a husband I never saw. And so I joined because I was determined to be a stay-at-home mom to my daughter for the first time in her life. And so when I thought about what was holding me back, like what fear was, so I got my first 4 loyal customers pretty easily. It was like my mom and my granny, like I was able to get my first 4 loyal customers really easily. And then after that, for 3 weeks, I did like nothing with my business, nothing, because I was too afraid. Guys, Katie is on here right now, and I almost talked her out of joining because I was so afraid of this business. I was afraid that I was going to fail. I was afraid that she was going to fail, that I was literally crippling myself. Because like, I could not get over that fear of what people were going to think of me. Like if she didn't succeed in this business, or if I didn't succeed in this business, what would, like, she's my best friend. Like, what would she think of me at that point? I was so afraid of what people would think in my newsfeed and all of that. So think about why you started. What is that driving force behind why you got started in this business? And then I want you to think about what you're afraid of. For me, I was afraid of reaching out to people. I was afraid of posting like too much on my newsfeed. There were several things that were holding me back. What is it that you're afraid of? What is it that's holding you back that you cannot get over yourself? What is that thing? Now compare it to the reason why you joined. I joined because my daughter, like, we were struggling so bad. We were barely making it paycheck to paycheck. We were living on credit cards. We were drowning in credit card debt. So I had a fear of posting on Facebook because I was afraid that people would think I was this crazy It Works girl, like bombarding their newsfeed. On the other hand, I joined because I was afraid that I could not buy food for my kid. Now, when I compare the two, which one is truly scary? Obviously, being a good provider for my family. Obviously. So when I compared the two, like, posting is not scary. Posting, like, messaging somebody that, like, I barely know about the business, that's not scary. You know what is scary? When a debt collector calls you. That's scary. You know what's scary is when you have like 10 days left in the month and $20 in your bank account. That's scary. And to me, when I realized that, like when I made that connection, like what's truly afraid, like what is truly making me afraid? Hi, Craig. What's truly making me afraid? Obviously, like that far outweighed my fear of posting, my fear of reaching out to people, my fear of wrapping people, and I was able to get over myself. I remember messaging my enroller, Christy, 3 weeks into my business after like never posting on Facebook. And I said, I'm going to do it. I'm messaging everybody in my Facebook friend list, and I'm going to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this for my family. And she said, just watch. It's going to happen. And let me tell you guys this. 9 weeks later, I went diamond. Let that sink in. The minute I decided to get over myself and get over whatever fear was holding me back, fear of posting, fear of reaching out to people, fear of what people thought of me, whatever. When I let that go and I was like, who cares what they think? They don't pay my bills. They're not answering the phone for this debt collector. So what does it matter what they think? When I let those fears go, I went diamond 9 weeks later. Let that sink in. What's truly scary in this life? It's not posting. It's living a life where your kid has to go on government assistance. It's living a life where you're constantly afraid to answer a phone call because you never know who's going to be on the other end. If it's going to be a debt collector or somebody from a collections agency being like, hey, you owe something right this minute, or we're going to repossess your car, whatever. That's what's scary in this life. Get over yourself. You just have to do it. If you're going to create momentum in your business, you have to get started. You just have to do it. You have to get over yourself. Let's see. I already covered that. And okay, next thing, stop being afraid to hear the word no. So often we associate the word no with failing, and that's not the case at all. Anybody who has been successful in this business will tell you that we have heard exponentially more no's than we have ever heard yeses. That's just the nature of the business, because the more people that tell you no also means the higher percentage of people who tell you yes. And a lot of times, especially if you are new, a lot of times you think like you're going to join and you are going to message some people and every single person is going to say yes, and it doesn't happen that way. Actually, like 90% of people will tell you no or completely ignore you. That's not uncommon, and it's not going to kill you. A no is not going to kill you. Instead of being afraid of hearing the word no, just embrace it. Okay, you said no, now on to the next person. Guys, if I would have quit after every time somebody told me no, I would have quit 2 years ago. But I didn't. And every ambassador diamond, every presidential diamond, people at the top of this company will tell you, we have heard so many more no's than we ever heard yeses along the way. Do you know how many people it takes to get you to ambassador diamond? 5. That's it. To take you all the way to the very top of this company takes you 5 runners. That's it. So your job is to weed through all the no's to find those 5 yeses of the people who will take you to the top. Because a no isn't going to kill you. It just means you're one person closer to finding your next runner. And I hate when people tell me, I have nobody interested in this business. I have nobody interested in products. What that means is you have a group of like 5 friends who won't commit to joining, and you're too lazy to grow your network. There are 7 billion people in this world. I guarantee you there are enough people in this world that you can find to make you ambassador diamond. There are enough people in this world to make you diamond or double diamond or whatever it is that you're ranked, whatever rank that you're going for. I guarantee you that there are enough people in this world to get you there. The problem is that you won't just start and be willing to find them. It will take growing your network. It will take weeding through some people who don't want it and some people who will waste your time. But I guarantee you that they're out there. You just have to find them. That's your responsibility. That's your job. Yes, it's work, but again, this is easy work. This is the easiest job you will ever have. You can sit on your couch and follow people on Instagram, because I promise you the people are out there. You just have to find them. So stop saying, I have nobody interested in this business, or everybody has told me no. What that actually means, what you're actually saying is, I have a small network of people who aren't interested and are not willing to grow it. Whenever I have a lull in my business, when I don't have any new potential distributors, when I don't have any new potential loyal customers, I can always trace it back to not growing my audience. That's what it boils down to. I need to mass follow people when that is the case. If I'm not completing my steps to success, 3 distributors and 4 loyal customers, it's because I'm not growing my network fast enough. I went through in June when we had the $9.99 deal, I enrolled a ton of people, and in July, nothing. Not 1 distributor, nothing. And I was like, well, crap. So what did I do? I didn't sit on my butt and feel sorry for myself, like nobody wants to join my business anymore, and everybody I've asked has said no. You know what I did? Instead, I went through and I unfollowed 3,000 people on Instagram, and I mass followed probably 2,000 or 3,000 people. Did it take time? Yeah, it did. But you know what? I have 6 new potential distributors, and I plan on signing every one of those 6 before the month is over. I get 6 new potential distributors out of it. So instead of sitting on your butt and whining and complaining like, so-and-so told me no, or my best friend was going to join and now she doesn't, or I have nobody interested in this business. The reason why you have nobody interested in your business is because you're not working your business. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing to create momentum to get those new potentials. Following people, messaging people, rapping people, having rap parties. What is it that's holding you back? Get over yourself and just do it. Just do it. Finally, last thing, and then I'll be done. You need to be intentional with your time and schedule your day. Cami Dempsey just did a, what's it called? Not a Zoom. What did she do today? Was anybody else on it? A lot. Facebook Live. Whoever mouthed that, I saw it. Thank you. It's Tommy, I saw it. She did a Facebook Live today. If you don't run your day runs you. Okay? It doesn't matter what season of life you're in, we're all busy. Okay? Like, if you're a mother, you're busy with kids. If you're not, you're busy with work. Like, guys, we're all busy people. Okay? So if we don't run our day runs you. You've got to be intentional with your time and with your efforts if you're going to build momentum within your business. Here's the bottom line. We're paid for 2 things and only 2 things. We're paid for enrolling loyal customers and we are paid for enrolling distributors. We are not paid for anything else. Just those 2 things. So if you are wanting to grow your paycheck, then you need to be participating in income producing activities. If you are not, if you find yourself scrolling through Facebook, watching stories on Snapchat, playing Words with Friends, watching Who Got Kicked Off the Island, like those things don't produce an income for you. So if you are wasting time, like a lot of us say, oh, I'm too busy to do this, or I'm too busy to do that. And one thing that I really hate is when people are like, I just need some downtime. Like, okay, if you just need downtime, then you don't really want to make an income with this business. Like for me, I was like, when I first joined and I was like so convinced and determined to go diamond, I was like thrilled when my kid went to bed because it wasn't like, it's downtime. I was like, yes, I can finally follow people. Like I was excited for it. And I was like looking for times when it was actually like conducive to me working more. So a lot of times we say that we're too busy or we need downtime or I need to relax or whatever. And all that really is that you're just making excuses and finding time not to work. Okay. An ambassador diamond makes $500,000 a year on average. A lot of them actually make more than that, make $500,000 a year. If you break that down, and I suck at math, so I like had to do it out before I did this. An ambassador diamond, the top rank in the company, they make $1,400 a day on average, even while they're sleeping. So if you are wanting to make that kind of income, are you working like an ambassador diamond? Are you working to where your efforts would pay you $1,400 a day, even while you're sleeping? See, the thing is, if you want to be paid like that, you have to quantify your time. If we are only paid for enrolling loyal customers and enrolling distributors, why would you even be concerned at all about whoever gets the next rose or whatever? And guys, this speaks to me because like there was a point in my life, and I laugh with my team because they know the story when I went down the rabbit hole of the Tasty videos and watched 45 minutes of Tasty videos on Facebook, when I was like complaining in a time of my business when I was complaining like I'm too busy to do this, I'm too busy to do that, but I had 45 minutes to watch Tasty videos. So I had to go unfollow Tasty on Facebook so I could get it out of my news feed so I wouldn't go down that stupid rabbit hole anymore. So if you're going to build momentum in your business, you're going to have to quantify your time. You're going to have to schedule your day, and you're going to have to make your time work for you. You need to eliminate distractions. I'm a stay-at-home mom now. I don't allow myself to turn on the TV during the day. Because if I turn on the TV during the day, I find myself like glued to the TV. Like if Fixer Upper is on, like I'm like all eyes on Chip and Joanna, and I don't get any work done. And so I don't even allow myself that temptation anymore. And I just have this standard rule of thumb that like when Ben and Callie are not home, the TV is not on, because I find myself getting too distracted by it. I'm not going to make $10,000 a month by watching Fixer Upper. I'm going to make $10,000 a month by enrolling distributors and enrolling loyal customers, and that's exactly what you will do too. Get a to-do list, get a planner, get a plan for yourself, and work your plan every single day. Tell your it's just like a budget, guys. If you don't tell your money where to go, you end up looking back over the month and wondering, where the heck did all my money go? It's the same thing with time. If you don't tell your time where to go, then you're never going, like, you're going to end up at the end of the day wondering, what happened? Like, where did my whole day go? Like, we've all had days like that when we're like, how is it 10 o'clock at night? I feel like I've accomplished nothing with my business. And it's because we're not intentional with our time. So for me, like, I'm just as intentional with my time with my family as I am time for my business. And I feel like in order to be successful, you need to do that. You need to have that balance. I go pick up Callie from school at 3 o'clock, and from 3 until like 7 o'clock, I really try to protect that time with my family, and I do that guilt-free. I don't feel guilty about putting my phone down and getting back to people at a later time, because that's that's family time for us. And I can set aside that time because I know that I'm going to work my business just as faithfully during the times that I have set apart for working. And so I feel like that's really important for you to establish those boundaries to both, because here's the thing, and I told somebody this the other day, that when you are constantly all day trying to do both, like maybe you're trying to work your full-time job and work your It Works business at the same time. Like I worked a desk job when I first joined, and like you can't do them both well, okay? Or if you're trying to parent at the same time, you can't do them both well, okay? Because it's like you're dividing your efforts and you're only giving 50% to each one of them. That makes it really difficult because you just constantly feel like you're coming up short, if that makes sense. So what I say to do, what I really feel like is incredibly smart and valuable, and you'll feel like you're getting so much more done, is when you set aside time for both family, for your regular job, for your It Works job, all of that. And you devote yourself 100% to that at that time. Every day from 10 to 12, I'm working my It Works business. Every single day. From 1 until about 2:30, every single day, I'm working my It Works business. From 3 to 7, that's always our family time. Like, sure, I'll check my phone, whatever. But that's really time that I have set apart to just be with my family. But then every night from 8 to 10 or 9 to 11, I have a 2-hour block of time, like I'm doing this training right now, where I devote specifically to working. And my family knows that. And so when you have that time set apart for you, just like you want to have your money working for you, you want to have your time working for you too. If you're going to build momentum within your business, you have got to schedule your day, or it is going to run you over. And you're going to get to the end of the month and you're going to be like, what the heck happened this month? I have nothing to show for this month. I'm not commission qualified. My team didn't do anything. And it's because all month long, you've been participating in non-income producing activities, and you've let your time slip away from you every single day. So those are my practical steps to creating momentum within your business. A few apps that Jade Hooper actually, on her training video, a couple of weeks ago, she said 2 apps that have been really great, and I've loved both of them. The first one is called Focus Keeper, and I'll show, that's not going to glare. This is really great for being productive, it's like a timer that you can set for yourself, and it will mute your phone for you, which is really nice for me. Like if I know that I'm going to spend the next 25 minutes cold messaging people, then it will mute my phone so I don't get any phone calls, I don't get any text messages. Katie, I don't get your Snapchats. It mutes my phone for me, and it sets the timer for me. And so I really like that. Like that's a great way to be super productive. I use this for cleaning my house too. I don't know about you, but I feel like especially when Ben and Callie are home, it's like following 2 tornadoes around my house, and you're like constantly picking up after them. So I actually really enjoy this for cleaning too, but it works really well for business. The second one that she did that I just downloaded it this weekend, and it's kind of hard to see, that I'm really enjoying. Oh, Michaela, you have it. If you guys can see Michaela, she's got it. This is called Done. Like, that's how simple it is. Jade talked about this in her training video. And anyway, if you are a list maker and you like checking things off your list, this app is for you. I just downloaded it this weekend, and I haven't had a chance to like really start using it. But you create your goal that you want to do, and then once you do it, is it gonna let me? You hold it down, and then like it lights up once you finish that app, or once you finish that goal. So I think this is going to be a really great thing for my business, because like if you have certain things that you need to accomplish every single day for your business, add 20 new friends on Facebook, follow 60 people on Instagram, and I have that 5 times a day, cold message 25 people a day, post 6 times a day. Like, it's, to me, like I really enjoy that, because then I know like I can't go to bed until this is done. I just can't. You just have to do it. And so when I have a to-do list like that, when I have something that I actually have to check off every single day, to me, that's always really helpful. And so I really think that I'm going to enjoy that app. So those were called Focus Keeper and Done. And I really like those for being productive. So anyway, I hope that helps, guys. I hope some of those tips you'll be able to I love you too, Christy. Thanks. I just wanted to just kind of share like what worked for me. And like I said, a lot of these tips I took from Denise Walsh, who is like the queen of building her business and gaining momentum. And now is the time to start really like focusing hard on getting where you're going, because you do not want to wait until November or December and decide like, hey, I want to go diamond, because it doesn't happen then. You have to start building that momentum right now. So if nobody has any questions, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording though.